Welcome, everybody, to the 59th episode of Dragonball Speak. I'm your host, Brandon.
And I'm Wesley.
Welcome to Dragonball Speak.
This is a special episode. It is not an episode of Dragon Ball Z, the show. We're actually doing Bardock, the Father of Goku, a movie I have not seen. It is the other movie that comes with the history of Trunks. I kind of figured exactly what the movie was going to be just by the name. I wasn't too
Small spoiler alert.
Yeah, a little bit. But we also we'll get into that. But we also kind of have seen this entire movie already in the show very quickly. You can find us on YouTube. That's where we you can see our beautiful faces, me and Brandon's. You can hear us on Spotify and all the other big podcast services. I know we're on Apple and Google and like literally everything. Brandon has secured that for us. And yeah, so we figured this week we're in between arcs. You know, we just finished the big old Cell arc, and who knows what's next? Well, Brandon does, but I don't. And we figured we would take a little break, take it easy with some Bardok, the Father of Goku action. Okay, Brandon, so hit me off. What's the history of this? I'm not familiar with movies in Dragon Ball at all. I know they exist. I know most people don't like a lot of them. I saw one of them in theaters, Dragon Ball Resurrection F, I think, or maybe it was the other one. And that's my only context for Dragon Ball movies.
Sure. Well, that context is completely irrelevant here because, it really is, because this is actually one of the few movies during the Dragon Ball Z era, which is actually directed somewhat and animated by Akira Toriyama and designed.
Really?
Yes. Everything else is relatively third-party designed, animated, storyboarded.
To give him a break.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So with that, you may have noticed that. Oh, maybe you haven't noticed. I apologize. Actually, for me, I've noticed that I've always had this thought that this was actually always one of the better movies actually out there. So if we continue this and we watched all the rest of the movies, let's just say you'll notice differences.
I see. Yeah, this was interesting. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it's mostly just because it's an era of Dragon Ball Z I'm very glad to be out of, which is the Frieza arc. Anyone watching knows that the Frieza arc is one of my least favorites. And having to see or hear Grandma Frieza again, not great. Not great for me after coming off of the Cell arc, which has one of my favorite villain voices of all time. But yeah, so let's get into this. Well, actually, do you know when this came out?
I do. So remember one of the first things we said when we sat down, we started watching, we started going through the intro.
Yes.
And the first thing we said was, this is a banger of a 90s rock.
It is not the... So we had the Japanese audio on it first, and I was like, oh, this sounds like the Japanese audio. This is normal.
Completely different.
And I'm like, okay, let me switch it to the English audio, and it'll be like the Bruce Falconer song. And it is not. It is a very 90s, like, butt rock, like, just riffing on a guitar intro.
Total Toonami vibes.
Yes. And... Yes. Yeah, there's a guy who every now and then would go Dragon Ball
Z. Oh yeah.
And it was not great. But I'm not the biggest fan of the actual Dragon Ball Z theme. There's apparently one out there I'm never gonna get to see, Chala, whatever.
Oh man, that's a good one too.
Yeah, I know that's one of your favorites. So but we got this. But yeah, so give me some time frame.
Let me tell you this. 1990 on the dot.
1990.
Right on the dot.
I wasn't even alive.
Yep. Yeah, neither was I.
Yeah, so. You were born like 8 or 7 years later, or 9 years. I don't know.
8.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell. Jumping ahead to some of the credits, because we're gonna get to the summary for sure. But the credits, I was like, oh, this sounds like Blink-182, but it's not Blink-182, which told me that it must be Sum 41. We watched the credits scroll, and sure enough, there's a Sum 41 song. So I didn't know Sum 41 was that old. To be honest, I thought they were more like a Guitar Hero age band. No. It's our first instance of. So there's some first things in this episode. I believe the first time seeing a Saiyan girl or woman.
That's correct. Yep.
Yes. When he goes. There's a part where we see a bunch of Saiyans, and I'm like, they have babies. Where are the women at? And then. Literally 10 seconds later, there's a woman.
Gender equality.
Yes.
On planet Vegeta was before here on Earth.
Dang, look at that.
Women on the front lines.
That's what I'm talking about. They had some pretty cool designs too. I wish that we would see more of them in the show, but something tells me we're probably never going to see. Well, actually, I know we're not because they're dead.
They are, yeah.
And then another first for Dragon Ball Z, a song with lyrics that plays during the episode. It's actually the first time we've had a song with lyrics in general.
Yeah.
But we have one that plays during the episode, and it's like straight up corn or something. I want to say it was maybe Saliva. I saw Saliva in the credits, and it feels like a very Saliva song. So this was an interesting watch for sure without the context. So 1990, is that before? So did this come out during the same saga that it's kind of referencing, the Frieza saga?
No, this is at the conclusion of it.
Okay. So, wow. So they basically did the Saiyan arc and then the Frieza arc, and then they were like, here's a movie.
Yes.
And so was it a theater movie or no?
So what happens in Japan a lot, this is kind of a roundabout way of answering your question, is these movies, they're always kind of on the shorter side. I mean, 40 minutes was this one, right?
48, yeah.
48. And a lot, especially the non-canon ones, in Japan, it's really popular to do that because they put them in theaters just as a an imaginary what if scenario. So that's why in a lot of these movies, they don't make sense plot wise as far as where they fit, right? So to answer your question, in Japan, yeah, it came out in theaters. Yes,
okay, cool.
As do a lot of these movies.
Yeah, it has the vibe. Well, I guess they weren't having. They probably didn't have Sum 41 playing in the background of theirs. But
probably
like,
not.
while we're watching the credits, I was like, this feels like I just watched a theater movie. They've got some flashbacks playing. Sum 41's playing, got the credits rolling. I was like, okay, these are some vibes for sure. But let's jump into this plot.
Let's do it.
So I believe I briefly looked up earlier. I think this takes place in between episodes 63 and 64, which let me actually check because I have my notes here on that. If I had to guess, I'm gonna say. Oh, weird. No, Raccoon versus Vegeta prediction. Goku, Krillin. Okay, so we are. Weird. Okay, so this doesn't actually fall where I thought it was going to fall. I assumed this would have come out right after the episode that kind of goes over this entire thing. We have a brief flashback with Bardock. I don't think we actually hear him talk though in that episode. But anyway, let's get to it. All right, so beginning of the movie, we are on planet Vegeta, which is still so funny to me that Vegeta is named after his home planet. They like naming someone Earth.
Or Earth.
Or Earth, yes.
As they pronounce it.
We've got someone. Oh yeah, they do. We've got someone named Goku, a little baby. He's screaming a lot, more than any other of the babies out there. Destined to fight, and then I wrote ignored by parents because the doctor dudes were like his parents don't care about him, and I guess they just have never given Goku a mom. I don't know, maybe future spoilers, and maybe I'll find out one day. But no mention of a mom, just Bardok. But maybe Bardok doesn't remember his wife because we soon find out. While Bardok is on a planet just destroying things, just going crazy. They're all ape form because it's a full moon. I guess they plotted that strategically. They're destroying it, and they come back down. They come to, and they're like, man, I don't ever really remember all the chaos I've caused or all the buildings or lives I've destroyed. And then they're like, well, Bardok will remember the fight, but he only remembers the fight. He doesn't remember anything about his personality. Which includes the fact that he had a son yesterday, the day before their fight. He forgot that he had a son already. He kind of mentions that the reason he kind of forgot is because he isn't going to get to do anything with his son. He knows his son's going to be sent away. So it kind of seems like why bother kind of thing.
This is where I kind of disagree with you, actually, because I think, yeah, I know. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Dragon Ball Z. I'm a fan of Dragon Ball.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, don't get me wrong. So, but I'm aware enough to say that sometimes the movie quality may not be great and they don't really delve into character depthness.
Yes, yeah.
But in this movie, this is one of my favorite movies.
Okay,
let me just come out and say that this is one of my favorite Dragon Ball movies.
Yeah.
Okay. I think they did a really good job actually in showing that there is a depth to Bardok in that he puts on this tough guy persona. He even says I'm not wise. I'm just good to fight. I'm good at fighting, right? And one of the scientists / doctors calls him out and says, no, you got to be somewhat intelligent here to be as good as to come back alive each time. So I like to think, there's no confirmation or anything, but I like to think that he's actually very aware of his son and it's on his mind, but maybe he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like you said, he doesn't care, but
maybe he's really sad that his son is going to be beamed off to a planet and he's never going to see him again.
Right.
Because I guess, I don't know. They might have some context of how big the universe is, but we know Earth is far, far away. And yeah, I do actually agree. They do some good characterization with Bardok for sure. And they also mentioned, so Bardock's gang is apparently like some low-level soldiers. They're not anybody that anybody's worrying with. But we watch what happens, and they kind of like destroy an entire civilization of some like amphibian frog guys. We don't ever get their names or anything, but they have some cool designs. And yes, so we've got one left under the rubble. He erupts out, and he's like, I'm going to give you the mind-reading powers that Frieza wants from this planet. And you're going to have it, and then you're going to see what it's like to watch your incoming destruction, just like we did. And Bardock's like, no. And then he gets it, he falls over, and, oh no, what's going on with Bardock's memory? Let's see. Cutaway to Kid Vegeta destroying some Cybermen. It's been a minute since we've seen some Cybermen. I don't know if the Cell guys are Cybermen. They have, like, Cybermen vibes, the ones that Cell pooped out of his tail.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're actually Cybermen. So if they're not, it's been since like the 20s that we've seen a Cyberman. So pretty cool. Mm-hmm. The Vegeta voice actor, I meant to look. It sounds a lot like Frieza, Grandma Frieza, which we know Dragon Ball Z likes to reuse voice actors. More importantly, Nappa has hair.
Yes.
Nappa has hair.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. This movie has like a lot of like the prequel vibes where they're like trying to explain things. Or like little things to just make you go like, oh, just like that. Where I'm like, Nappa's got hair now. Or like, just it's very prequel-y, which obviously it is a prequel, but I like that they showed a lot of stuff like that.
One thing I liked about the Cybermen, so you notice he took on like, what was it, 3 or 4?
Yeah, like a bunch.
Like
a
joke.
circle.
Yeah. Do you realize that Yamcha also took on that many? And do you know how old Vegeta is in that point?
Vegeta, I'm going to guess 7.
So we have to remember, Akira Toriyama, he's not very consistent with his designs for younger children.
Yes.
But he is, in fact, 3 years old.
3 years old, and Vegeta's speaking like a grown adult ready to conquer the world.
That's correct. He was born in age 732, and this takes place in 735.
Damn. Look at Vegeta going. That's actually... There's also some more consistency. I read that this takes place 12 years before the start of Dragon Ball, which doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Because Goku is like 3 or 4 when we first meet him in Dragon Ball. Well, besides the kid part, but like when he's swinging around the trees.
We meet Goku, I think he was age something like that, yeah.
He's young. He's not 12. We know he's not 12. Yeah, so inconsistencies, but who cares?
Yeah. Accept.
Yes. So we cut to Frieza, and Frieza's got some parts of the Ginyu Force. I got a little excited. I thought we were going to see some more of the Ginyu Force, but it's just Zarbon and Dradoria. I think that's his name. I always get it wrong. I don't remember what I used to call him, but I know you weren't a fan of it back in the day. But Zarbon and Dradoria, the little ugly guy that could, is what we like to call him here. And basically, Frieza's like, this group is interesting. They are destroying entire civilizations, and that's kind of my job. And I'm sending them out to do my job, but they're doing just a little too good. And Frieza's not happy about it.
Well, I mean, I think there's a mistake because they're just the low levels.
Yeah,
no, they can't be the low levels. No,
yeah, exactly. They I don't even. I mean, I guess we've seen levels of Saiyans and how strong they get, but it is funny just to call Saiyans low levels. Which I guess if you're Frieza, they are all low levels. Little does he know he's going to die to a low level.
Keep in mind, we also have a very biased view of that, right? I mean,
yes, that is
we've
true.
only known how many pure blood Saiyans. I mean, two. Two.
Count that we know Bardok exists, but we don't know his powers.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And so we've got Bardok. He's back in his little water juice tank, his Darth Vader tank, his Bacta tank. Yes.
Also Star Wars fan.
Yes. I can't remember. Do the Saiyans get stronger when they die and come back, or do they get stronger after every fight?
No. Because think about it this way: dying doesn't normally have a return, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So it's only when they're beaten down to the edge of their life do they get the Zenkai boost.
So I don't know if he wasn't really beaten down because they're like he's getting weaker. But he should, and I was like, well, wait a second, he should be getting stronger because he just lost. But I don't think he was at the edge of his life. He was just, recharging post-fight.
Agreed. It's not really to the edge of his life, but maybe I'm jumping ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
But you notice that when he has his next fight, he's considerably stronger. It seems like than his crew, right?
That is true. Yeah, he definitely. I mean, we'll get there. He takes out an entire Frieza squad, though. We get some Dragon Ball flashbacks. Why is that? Because I guess he's close enough to Goku or something, or in the same vicinity that he can now. He's getting some of his future readings from his new power, and I guess Goku gets some of them as well. And he's like, I'm sensing that Goku's seeing what I'm seeing. And what is he seeing? He's seeing some real good flashbacks. It makes my heart happy. We've got basically all the beginning of Dragon Ball quickly shown to us. We've got the milk training, King Piccolo, Demon King Piccolo, some of the tournament stuff. We see Bulma and a little weird like two-wheeler car thing they've got. Very awesome. You know, on this show, we're big fans of Dragon Ball. If you haven't watched Dragon Ball, but you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, you need to go back and fix that because Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball are essential.
How can you be a Dragon Ball Z fan without knowing the backstory?
That's what I'm saying. Nick, I know you're listening. I don't know if you've gotten through Dragon Ball yet, but I know you had it in the past. You need to get through it because it's good.
Everyone needs to get through it.
I really, really like Dragon Ball Z a lot more than Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball is like up there. Dragon Ball's good. Dragon Ball's good. It was my very first anime I've watched to completion.
It's so a lot of people's very first.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Granddaddy of all anime.
Oh, yes. Bardock and Goku can sense the death of the planet. Spoilers. The planet's going to die.
No.
Let's see. One of the doctors just briefly mentions that Goku's power level is average, which we knew because he goes, we're not, at the start of Dragon Ball Z, adult Goku's like not even reaching the 400s yet.
No. I mean, compare Vegeta at this age to Goku at that age, right?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, Goku is like swinging on a tail like a monkey, and Vegeta's already a 3-year-old
accomplishing the most difficult missions. So.
Yeah, not to mention, like, we see how strong those Cybermen are at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. They take out, they give our team a lot of trouble and kill some people. And Vegeta took out like 3 of them. So this actually kind of adds some credence to how powerful Vegeta is when he first lands on the planet.
And it kind of, what I like about this too is it adds some context to when Vegeta lands, why he doesn't care about anyone else's strength, and he just knows that he's superior because look at how he started out. He at the age of like 3 or 4, he's already one of the strongest Saiyans.
Yeah, and knowing Vegeta, at the end of this, spoilers, he's by himself. He's the last Saiyan alive, he thinks. I wouldn't be surprised if Vegeta gets in his head that like he's strong enough to survive. Even though he was not anywhere near Planet Vegeta or anything, he's probably like, I survived because I'm the strongest.
That's right.
Even though he just happened to be in a different spot. I'm pretty sure Frieza would have destroyed him. Anyway.
Well, actually, I think, that's another thing I like about this movie is kind of like these little subtle things, right? I think Frieza was already trying to kill him by sending him on the most difficult mission. Yeah,
did we, I might have gotten over that part, but yeah, so we'll get there. We'll just touch on that now. Vegeta basically comes in, I don't remember. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah, we can go to this part. Vegeta comes in and he is like charged up. He's like, Frieza, let me see. Give me something, dude. And Zarbon and Jidori are like, you're not even supposed to be in here. You don't even address Frieza without an appointment, mister. And Vegeta's like, I do not care who you are. Give me something. And Frieza, as you mentioned, says, give him the hardest mission we have available. Which, yeah, you point out, and now it makes sense, that is a death sentence. Like, 100% a death sentence. Considering they're sending out squads to, like, missions that aren't as hard as that one, and then this one's just Vegeta by himself.
A kid.
Yeah, which, spoilers, it seems like at the end, Vegeta crushes it.
As a joke.
Yeah, he's got a mountain of dead bodies around him.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah.
But one of the things I actually loved about this, too, is this is what I like about prequels, is that you get this sense of irony that you can implement, right? So this whole time during that conversation with Dodoria, Zarbon, and Frieza, they were talking about how they're not afraid of low-level Saiyans, and that this is it's never going to be a problem. But here's a spoiler for those who haven't watched Dragon Ball Z yet.
What are you doing?
I know, right? But all of them die at the hands of a Saiyan.
Yeah, a low level Saiyan. Yeah, some of them, I can't remember. Vegeta kills some of them.
Both of them.
Dodoria,
both of them
and
Zarbon,
specifically. Yes, yeah. I forgot. Again, he becomes a toad, and then Jace dies by Krillin. I can't remember, but let us know in the comments if I'm right or wrong. Shout out to Jace. I was hoping Jace would show up, but he doesn't.
Hate to break it to you.
I'm never going to see Jace again.
No. Yeah. But technically, Zarbon and Dodoria are not actually part of the Ginyu Force.
Oh.
The Ginyu Force are the 5 that land on planet Namek later.
I'm so confused. Yes, yeah.
I wanted to correct you earlier, but
no, you should have. You're so right.
I had to let you dig your own grave.
I forget. Well, because it all kind of happens. So Vegeta's fighting Zarbon and Dodoria while Ginyu Force is doing their own thing.
Correct.
And we're cutting back and forth between Vegeta and then Gohan and Krillin.
I know some of you guys were like, you heard that. You were sitting on the edge of your seats, like, oh, here we go. I got to write a comment down about that.
That's so true. Gosh, that's so true. Then who? So the frog guy with the 2 eyes, or the eyes
yeah. You know what's funny to me it's been so long since I've watched it. That actually, yeah. It's
I'm gonna look it up.
Please.
We got Jace.
It's gonna drive me. Yep.
Ginyu, obviously.
Girder.
Captain Ginyu.
Girder. I think his name's Girder.
Yeah, it is Girder.
Yep.
Ginyu Force members.
Yep,
it's so nice and freeing that I can look up this kind of stuff now. Raccoon is the other guy.
Yeah. Name's Raccoon. Rhymes with Doom.
Yeah. Goldo is the eye guy.
Yep.
Raccoon. Birder. Yep. Bardock. Jace, which I didn't know was spelled that way, Jeice, and Captain Ginyu. Shout out to the Ginyu squad, Ginyu Force. They're kind of legendary, and also they are what our characters are based on. Our little avatars we have at the show. Very cool. Where were we?
We're talking about Vegeta.
Yes.
Storming into the castle.
So he gets his mission and he's on his way, basically, and then we won't see him again until towards the end.
Yep.
And I kind of forgot that Vegeta was out doing a mission. Let's see. Frieza basically tells Dodoria, whatever his name is, go kill Bardock's group. Like, take him out. I'm done with them. They're getting too powerful. We can't risk it. Frieza's a coward. Obviously, we all know this.
It's true.
So Dodoria goes out to do that, and they land on a planet. He's got a whole squad with him, and I guess Bardock is kind of off on his own on the planet or doing something else, because his group is still together, but Bardock's not, and his group gets pretty much annihilated pretty quickly. They don't really stand a chance at all. So you're kind of getting like, okay, this group is very strong, much stronger than Bardock's group. And then Bardock comes back and he sees his best friend Tora. Dunzo.
No. Really? I meant dramatically.
Oh my God.
yeah. Like, sorry.
I was like, did I get the name wrong? Rest in peace, Tora. Pouring out for you. He's got a little bit of energy left in him, and he basically he just gives his little goodbyes to Bardock, and he's like, your son, blah blah blah.
Yep.
Then we've got this sick, nasty corn song, saliva song maybe, that plays. First time we've heard lyrics in a Dragon Ball Z song. And so contextually, I just know shit's about to go down. It's Dragon Ball Z. We've got some guitars strumming. It is time. And sure enough, Bardock goes hard. He just starts annihilating everybody. And Dodoria is kind of watching, and he's seeing Bardock take out all these people, and he's like laughing because he's like, there's no way Bardock's going to do this.
Yeah. And I love that because half of them actually died from each other.
Literally, yeah. They're like, it's like bowling balls. And yeah, Bardock takes them all out. And then let me see. Oh yeah, Tora. He speaks to Tora again. Dodoria is about to fight. Well, let me go back. Tora tells Bardock that Dodoria is behind the attack, and then Bardock is like, wait, what the hell, dude? Like, we're homies. He sent me out. Frieza sent me out here to do this. I'm just doing his mission. And Dodoria's like, sorry, dude. Frieza wants you dead. And so we're now starting to get a little shift in Bardock. He's starting to realize maybe I've pledged my allegiance to the wrong team. And then Dodoria blows Bardock away into like, and this is when we get the little bowling alley thing. It's like a giant little, it literally looks like a lane, and Bardock is covered under the bodies of his friends. It's actually pretty brutal. And Dodoria gets a call from Frieza's little people on the ship, and he's like, come back. We need you back here because we're going to Planet Vegeta and we're going to blow it up. Let me see. Yeah, Frieza says he's ready to destroy all of Planet Vegeta. Bardock is like, I got to get back. I got to warn everybody. I have to let them know what's happening. And on the way, who does he pass?
He passes little baby Kakarot.
And he sees, we get like a little cheesy blow up thing. It's like Kid Goku, Teen Goku, then Adult Goku. Yep. Adult Goku with his staff thing. I forget what it's called, but we haven't seen that
Power
Yeah, that's right. I haven't seen that in Dragon Ball Z, right?
No, I don't think so. Like the very first episode of Dragon Ball Z, we see the Nimbus, but we don't actually see the Power Pole.
Yeah, I can't remember what happens to the Power Pole, but
he uses it to lift up Kami's tower.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yes, so that was interesting to see that. And then let's see here. Basically, we find out here that Goku is Jesus. Because Bardock learns that Goku is being sent to become the savior of the world, the one that will protect innocence and save citizens and nations all around the world.
Don't forget, it's not too late for him to be more like him and less like Frieza.
That's right. Yeah, Goku and Bardock have this weird connection, which is totally fine because we also see that Goku has a weird connection with his son back at the end of Cell Saga.
Yep.
So you know what? If Akira Toriyama wants some like cool little connections, he gets it.
Yep.
And yeah, like you mentioned, he's like, Bardock, you can still change your ways. You don't have to be murderous guy. Because Bardock, he's our protagonist, but he's actually kind of a pretty bad dude.
Yeah.
We've watched him wipe out complete civilizations, and he's not really thinking about why he's doing it. He's just doing it because Frieza's telling him to. And we know that is not good to do. It's not good to, make species go extinct.
Nope.
So Bardok lands on Earth, and he runs into the cafeteria, and everyone's eating their food. And he's like, "Oh my god, you guys, Frieza's gonna blow up the whole planet. We gotta get out of here."
Everyone's like, "What?"
Yeah. Everyone's like, "Dude, just because you lost doesn't mean we need to go out and fight. We're not worried about it, and no one cares."
Because his reputation is like, "Hey, I take out on the strongest challenges. I always get beat so close to death."
Yep.
And then everyone's like, "Well, dude, he's not trying to kill you. You're just stupid."
Yeah, you just got beat. Simple as that. And Bardock's realizing that his hope is lost. Basically, he literally is mumbling under his breath, "You're all gonna die. You're all gonna die." And we all know that's going to happen because we have seen this happen in Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. Then he leaves the cafeteria. He's gonna run. He's got a plan. But then he has a vision or something. He's on Namek for some reason, or it looks like Namek. And Goku's there, and that's when Goku gives him the full speech, you can change your ways, you can become better. I imagine it was just time and place. They were like, we need some cool looking planet. Grab those Namek sheets from a couple years back. Let's throw those in.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, literally. And then let's see. Goku tells his dad it's not too late to change, and Bardock's like, "You're right. Let me get in my little space pod, and I'm charging up to that weird looking ship, and I'm gonna destroy Frieza
all by myself."
Yeah, all by himself. And then we see the weird ship just deposit a ton of orb-looking things, but it turns out it's a bunch of people, all of his army, basically. So Frieza's definitely scared. He sends out an entire army to destroy Bardok, which we realize later he doesn't actually need to do, which we already knew that because Frieza's kind of a legend. Frieza sends out an entire army to destroy Bardok, and Bardok says, "I do not care." He basically just kind of is charging right at Frieza's spaceship. These Saiyans, what is their capabilities in space?
Yeah. So about breathing?
Yeah. Breathing. All that.
They don't.
Okay. Yeah. I probably had the same question when we saw this little flashback episode, but
that's what was supposed to make Frieza so not notorious, but notable was that's why he destroyed Namek.
Yeah.
Because
Goku was not going to be able to breathe. He was like, "If I destroy this planet, you're going to die." And
Frieza can live in space.
Yeah.
Goku cannot.
That doesn't matter here because this moment looks sick. It is funny though because he gets in his ship to fly there, and then he's like, "I'm gonna get out," and it's like, why didn't you, if you can breathe in space, don't take the ship at all.
Yeah.
Let's see. Frieza sends out the entire army, and Bardock just powers through. He's destroying everybody. He's kicking butt. I guess does some of the Saiyans from Vegeta start to come up at some point? There's a part where Bardock's like, "Stand up, guys. We can do this."
So. No, to answer your question, no. The reason why I'm kind of hesitant in answering this is I don't want to get into it too much, but as most movies, including this one, is technically, you can consider it non-canon. Yeah. Although up to now, there's really no reason why you shouldn't consider it non-canon. So that's why in my mind, I've always kind of just accepted it as canon because it doesn't contradict anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but there is a retelling of the story.
Oh.
So not 100% of it carries over, but you do what you want.
A different retelling. We've seen because we saw it in the Frieza saga.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to get too into it because we will revisit that. I promise you.
Cool. Yeah, basically the flashback that I keep referencing back during the Frieza saga, it's more so from Vegeta's perspective, if I'm not mistaken. Prince Vegeta, and we basically get some Prince Vegeta stuff for maybe 30 seconds, and then we get this this section right here, which is Bardock charging at Frieza with his, and this whole group or whatever, and then Frieza starts to power up his little, he comes out, and Bardock's like, "Finally, now we can fight, that's what I want." He charges up his little finger, the infamous Frieza finger.
Did Bardock win?
No, Bardock doesn't. Bardock was never going to win, spoilers.
Was it close?
No, not at all. Frieza is not scared at all. Not scared at all. So now it seems like he's just lazy. The reason he didn't want to go after Bardock himself is because he's lazy. Because Bardock is no challenge. The Saiyans are no challenge. All of Planet Vegeta is no challenge. Nope. This dude charges up a big old blast. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. It grows and grows.
Swells.
And then boom. He launches it at Bardock.
Good chunk of his men.
Yeah, all of them pretty much. And this is the beam that kills the planet, I think, too, right?
asteroid.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Bardock's being what's the word? Disintegrated, basically. Yeah. And he gets a flashback, or he gets to talk to Goku or something one more time. I'm not quite sure if it's like communication so much as it is the
it's
future.
a revelation that my son will take down Frieza, and with that, he passes with a smile on his face.
He does. And then in space, we see his little red bandana go by as Goku floats down, not floats down to Earth, but crashes into Earth. And then this is probably my favorite part of the entire movie because I just love anything with Dragon Ball. And this is Kid Goku crashing to Earth, coming out, and Grandpa Gohan picks him up, and he's like, and also they did another cool prequel thing where they're like, I could probably be your grandpa.
Oh, yep.
Which is funny because it's like not actually his grandpa, but they're,
And I love how we get a little bit further of a pan out this time.
Yes,
and what do we see? We see his space pod.
Right there.
That Grandpa Gohan never saw.
He has no idea. He says, "Oh, you've got a tail. That's weird," but just never questions it.
I'm weird too.
Yeah, yeah, literally. And then we that's the end of this movie. We get some 41. We get some Dragon Ball playing in the corner.
Yep.
And that is Bardok, the father of Goku. So when did you first see this movie?
Oh man, I would say I was 16, which would be about 12 years ago.
16, really? That's later than I thought.
Well, you get to unlike.
We didn't even break.
Okay, so let's address the obvious. I'm not actually Brandon.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually his brother, Ryan.
Yes.
So Brandon was unavailable today.
Yeah, Brandon's in old New York City, living up his
New York,
dreams.
not New York.
Yes,
old New York.
And he is. He was like, "Why don't you guys review Bardok, the father of Goku, and we're gonna have Ryan do it." And it's
for one, by the way, I'm actually pretty honored. By the way, to be here. Thank you so much.
And we are honored to have you here at Dragon Ball Speak. Ryan is probably one of our biggest supporters, if not the biggest. He's definitely been there since the day one, which I know a few of you have. Shout out to all y'all.
Yep.
And yeah, we really love Ryan here at Dragon Ball Speak, obviously, and we're not just saying that because we're related to him. But yes, so we were like, let's have Ryan fill in, and it has been awesome. And so yeah, that is not Brandon. It's funny that we went like 30 minutes into this episode. We talked about doing it right after the intro, and we just never did. So.
I thought about it, but I'm like, yeah, let's just roll with it.
No, this is even better. This is like, I love that Brandon's gonna watch this, and he's gonna be like 30 minutes in. He's like, they're really not gonna address it. They're just gonna say that's Brandon. And
you know what? No one in the comments would have said anything. It would have been like, yeah, this is.
I do wonder what would have happened if we just did not acknowledge it at all.
Oh, it would have been awesome.
So like, they're just been like, what's
especially for those guys, for those of you on Spotify who don't actually can't even see, like they just hear, he doesn't.
Yeah,
voice still change. All right.
Yeah, they do have different voices. Brandon's has a bit more timbre, more power behind it. Me and Ryan are probably more equal in our timbre.
Better,
which will make bold claims for your first episode. Sorry, Brandon. Actually, don't bother coming back to New York City. We've got this. We're gonna finish up the rest of Dragon Ball Z before you get back.
I'll keep the mug though.
Yeah, we've only got 100 episodes to watch ish.
Yeah,
we could probably knock that out this weekend.
Yep.
Okay, so you're 16 when you see this.
Yeah.
So
actually,
this is later than I would have thought. When did you start watching Dragon Ball Z?
Honestly, probably not too long before that. Actually,
really?
Because to give you some background, I'm actually considerably. Not that's considerably, but older than Brandon. So we got into. I like to think that I inspired Brandon to be where he is today.
Yeah. Okay.
Full disclosure: as big of a fan as I am, Brandon is larger.
Yeah, Brandon's like Dragon Ball, as you know.
I'm missing any Dragon Ball tattoos.
Yeah, Brandon's got
a couple.
2.
Yeah,
I think it's 2.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Or 3.
Yeah, and that's the ones we can see.
Get more Brandon. Oh yeah. No, we can see some of them, but you guys never will. Okay, so you guys didn't watch this together?
Yeah, actually we did. Not the movie, I don't think. But
like Dragon Ball Z, was it like y'all's thing together?
Yeah, it was. Okay. So we started watching together up until I got impatient because he couldn't keep up with me, and I was the one with the laptop. Oh. So here I am.
Oh, watching a laptop.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, streaming. I was streaming.
KissAnime.com.
That's right.
Really?
Yeah, it really was. It really
awesome.
was because especially back then, but there wasn't that many like legit streaming sites for older Dragon Ball or older anime in general. So KissAnime is still in some ways my jam, but now that I'm older with money, I actually have a Crunchyroll subscription now.
Yeah,
but,
same. Yeah.
Yeah, but,
I don't want to brag,
but made of money here. But Yeah, so we started watching that together. So I was actually a bit older than he was. He was like 10 or so, I want to say, when he started watching, and so I was like 16 or so.
Nice. That's awesome. Cool. And so you guys watched this just randomly, or like, how did you guys even find out about this?
I feel like I'm a guest on the podcast instead of like. The dynamic has shifted.
Well, now I'm like, now because we've reviewed the episode.
Yeah,
I guess we could have reviewed it, but now I'm just curious about your Dragon Ball Z, because we have never been able to really talk about it too much.
True.
Because we just don't. Me and Brandon do not talk about Dragon Ball Z outside of the show for spoilers' sake, and then for the same reason I don't talk to him or really anybody about Dragon Ball Z. If I even like mention to people about Dragon Ball Z, they'll be like, "Oh, what'd you think of Cell?" And I'm like, "I haven't gotten it, but I have now." Yeah, it's like dodging a landmine. Turns out Dragon Ball Z is like super popular and stuff. Which I'm actually having the same problem with One Piece right now, which we can talk about off air. But now that I'm like learning characters of One Piece, I'm seeing things and I'm like, dang it. I've got this phone case that's being advertised to me on Instagram, and it's like something with Luffy that I don't even understand how that happens. But that's on One Piece Speak, coming to you soon, maybe.
Ironically,
like and subscribe, and we'll make One Piece Speak.
I am the One Piece expert out of those two. I'm fully caught up on the anime, so watching weekly, unfortunately, but waiting for those new episodes.
What a feat to have caught up.
I think 3 years worth of watching
it's so
to catch up to the current.
I just got to episode 45, and it is so scary looking at 900 plus episodes to go.
Man. It's intimidating, sure.
Yeah, but I like it.
It's worth it.
But yes, okay. So Dragon Ball Z, your guys' history with it. So you guys saw this. How did you come across this? Was this something advertised, or you mentioned Toonami earlier? Was it like a Toonami thing?
So actually, I can't tell you the arc yet. But back when I was way younger, I was like maybe like 12 or 13. I was actually able to catch some of your upcoming villains arc that was not streaming, but playing on Toonami.
Okay.
And me and my sister actually,
my wife.
We were actually we managed to watch. This was a big deal back then because can't record TVs.
Yeah.
But we actually were able to watch 3 episodes in a row, consecutively. So like episode 1 week, the successor episode the next week. So that's my first inkling into like I kind of like this. And then when I discovered Kiss Anime, I was like, hey, let's pick up Dragon Ball. Because I always wanted to watch it and like I never could. Man, back in the dark ages with TVs, man, and man. But so
we're spoiled now. We got Blu-rays of this stuff.
Youngins. But anyway, so that and just that kind of picked me up. Like, what anime I'm gonna watch? I always want to watch Dragon Ball, and so me and Brandon started watching together, and up until we watched almost. I want to say I don't know. I can't remember now. It's been so long. If he started with episode 1 Dragon Ball Z with me, but we split off. I split off because right when we discovered Cell's larva form, because at that point I was absolutely hooked. I'm like, oh my god, what is this larva? Oh my god, I gotta know more. And he just wasn't available, unfortunately. And as a douche of a brother, I guess I couldn't wait for him. I had to keep going.
No, that's a very understandable because great arc, best arc so far.
Yes.
Cool. And so you've seen this movie at least once? Multiple times?
This would be my 4th.
Okay, wow.
And like I said earlier, this is actually one of the better movies. Yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for you, but
it's not like my favorite, but it's only because
agreed.
Yeah, just where this falls, and I just came off like one of the best anime arcs I've ever watched. Arlong Park, you know what I'm saying? Just kidding. No. Well, no, it is, but Cell Saga is what I'm referencing. But yeah, so speaking of reviews, I actually gave this a 3 out of 7.
3? Okay.
Yeah, just because I knew what this entire episode was going to be because we get the flashbacks of Frieza. I actually think I would have enjoyed it more if I hadn't known that. If this was all new to me. Well, yeah, because Bardok is such a mysterious character for real no reason in the show, at least in my opinion. He's not.
He should have sounded like an old friend, by the way. Did you catch who his voice actor is?
No, but it did sound familiar. Who was it?
It's Goku's best friend. It's Krillin.
Really?
Yeah, the voice actor for in the English dub, obviously. Krillin's the voice actor.
That's cool. That's cool because Krillin's voice actor doesn't usually do too much as far. Usually it's Christopher Savage doing everything. That's awesome. I did like his voice actor voice is a lot. I also like that Bardok is just Goku. Like his design is just Goku with the scar.
No, there's actually one key difference. Oh, 2 key. If you count the scar, obviously. Okay. But actually, what Akira Toriyama does is with these more evil characters, they're more angular. So if you notice, his eyes are not Goku's eyes, where you got like the it's like circular at the top.
They're more like this lands like
the angry Goku
Vegeta.
eyes. Yeah, exactly, like Vegeta's eyes. Yes, exactly. Okay. So that's another key difference.
I'm gonna go back and look at that now because that's cool. I didn't know that. Awesome. Yeah. So I gave it 3 out of 7. What did you give it?
So I don't know if. Again, I'm a different person than Brandon is. So I kind of shifted a little bit my perspective.
Yes.
So I put this more in the perspective of, as opposed to like episodes, I put it more towards like movies and kind of ranked it that way, because I feel like it's not fair, I don't think, to compare it to episodes. Like, it didn't have those big fights. It didn't have like those epic, like, oh my God, this is so badass. He's kicking the antagonist's ass, because actually he doesn't. No. He's not the ultimate antagonist, right? I gave it a 5 out of 7, actually, because I wouldn't. It's not. There's other movies that I would rank like 6 out of 7, only for the pure badassery.
Yes,
you know. But as far as movies goes, this is good. I would watch. Obviously, I watched it again. I somewhat enjoyed myself. Yeah. There's big time gaps in between. But I can't say this is a movie that, for example, I look up on YouTube to watch clips of. You know, like some of them.
There's nothing. There's nothing super like. I mean, whatever. I mean, even me and Brandon mention all the time. He loves Broly. I've not seen it, but I have seen a GIF from Broly that's very popular, and it's Goku like doing a little hype hop on like in snow. And just that GIF alone gets me hype, and I have no idea what the context is. But, like, it's just, I mean, it's got newer animation. This movie came out in 1990. Like, it is what it is. A movie made 30 years later is going to be more enjoyable to watch. But I do think this, I haven't seen any of the other Dragon Ball movies, but I have heard that some of the Dragon Ball movies especially, very bad. I think me and Brandon might actually be doing History of Trunks soon.
Spoiler.
Spoiler. Sorry. I don't know when we're going to do it, but I feel like it would make sense to do it before we start the next arc, since, you know, History of Trunks.
I would agree with that. Not that I have a voice in this, but that's a good idea.
No, your voice is taken. So we're going to do that soon. I have no idea if that's what we're doing. If we do it, then I have my mind control power or mind reading powers just like Bardok, and if not, then Brandon coerced me into watching the next 3 episodes of Dragon Ball Z, which, if they're anything like the past 3 episodes, I'm not super excited for. Actually, wait a second. It was only the last episode we watched that was pretty bad, which is Free the Future. But Brandon really liked that one. I didn't, so maybe I'm going to hate History of Trunks and he's going to love it. We'll see. But we will see next time on Dragon Ball Speak.